So, Kayla, you've got some examples of some people you've worked with. So, I would say maybe touch on, and I'll kind of let you decide, and I can help you expand on it. But kind of talk through. You've got some different examples of some clients that you've worked with. So, talk to me a little bit about the relationship you've had with you guys, or you've had with them. Perhaps how long you've worked with them, and just kind of what's the dynamic in the working relationship.
Sure. So we have a client who we worked with for many years. And actually then that business ended up getting bought out. And so our relationship ended because they moved to their new owner's health insurance plan. But the benefits administrator, the HR director, moved to a different company. And she actually brought us in to that new company because she saw the value that we brought in not just providing them with insurance options, which is, I would say, the basis of what an insurance agent does, but there's so much more to that in treating people, the term that she frequently uses, like family, treating people like family and making sure that they are well represented, that her employees are taken well care of, and that she can trust that we will do right by them. So that's been a really fun client to work with, just because it's fun to work with those people that you know and trust so well.
In what industry is that particular client in?
They are in the medical field.
Okay, perfect. So let's go through just a few more. Give me kind of, again, maybe talk about the industry they're in and just kind of describe, again, whether it's, like I said, the duration of working with them and kind of the dynamic of how you're helping them out.
Sure. We have another client who is quite small, actually, and they're in the agricultural field. And they had a claim issue. And so one of the daughters of the owner, seems like it always happens with the owner or the owner's wife or kids or something. But the daughter actually, she was a young adult and still in her parents' plan. And she had done the homework to make sure that the health plan would cover her prescription. She had a high dollar prescription. She knew that she had to have it due to a medical condition that she had. And she had done the homework and documented her homework, confirmed that this prescription would be covered by United Healthcare. And when she went to fill it, she was expecting a $125 copay. The cost that she was charged was $1,500. And so obviously that causes some bells to go off. And because she had kept good notes, we were able to, I don't want to say fight, but we were able to work with the insurance company to make sure that they held their word. Because when she was on the phone with them, they had told her that it would be covered at a $125 copay. But it wasn't disclosed that this additional fee would be tacked on because she was using a name brand medication. And so it took several weeks, and a few weeks, I should say. And it took really taking it up the ladder and being quite persistent and being quite loud about it. But that's my job. It's to advocate for my clients and make sure that the insurance company is doing what they're supposed to do and what they have communicated that they would do to this client. And so in the end, we were able to get her medication approved for a $125 copay. And I just felt super great about that because it's a life-saving medication for her. And it's very important for people's, $1,500 is a big deal every month.
Excellent. And again, I can speak to ourselves. I know you guys help us out, and we're obviously a very small group. And the impact of having group has been transformative. We came from the marketplace, which in many cases is a good idea, but we ran into that being in a ratio where it didn't make a lot of sense. So I can speak to the fact that being a small group for us has been both from just my wife and I, and then, like I said, the benefits that we provide because we're able to do both vision and dental in addition to health. And I even noticed this year that even some of my prescription coverage has improved, which I can't say I necessarily anticipated that, but one of my drugs that tend to be really expensive that you need a coupon with, I didn't need it this year. So
awesome.
Go team. And that's usually like a $200 drug. So I know
Nice.
that doesn't always work for everybody, but I can just say for us, helping us navigate that has been unbelievably helpful, on top of the fact that it has definitely contributed to our ability to compete and provide competitive benefits, even though we're a small business.
Yeah, thank you. I think that kind of leads me to another client that I was thinking of. They are small business. They have about 10 employees, and they're in the medical field, and they're actually one of the industries that was forced to close their doors for a few weeks due to COVID. And so this business, like you guys, they really place a high value on taking good care of their employees, and they wanted to make sure that their employees could maintain their enrollment on the health plan, but they weren't working, so they had to figure out how to put together furloughs and unemployment benefits and PPP loans and maintaining benefits. And so, we were all doing that with many of our clients, but it was a really important time to stay on top of the latest news, latest laws that were coming down, and really help them walk through that path and take care of their employees.
Excellent. Any other ones just in different size or different industries that you want to share, or is that kind of a good?
I think that's a pretty good breadth that covers clients from 3 employees to 67. We do work a lot with the medical field, but we also work in a lot of different industries as well. So both working closely with the businesses and individual employees. That's what I love to do. I love to help people navigate the world of health insurance.
And you kind of answered that, but I just wanted to ask that succinctly. What would you say is the most enjoyable part of serving these different industries and different sizes?
The most satisfying thing is making the world of health insurance understandable to people. And even if they don't get to the point of understanding it, they're able to make it work for them. And so when they have a problem that they can't solve on their own, and I can use my knowledge, my connections to solve that problem for them, that's the most gratifying thing to me.
So let's do the final thing, call to action. Colby, how can clients get in touch with you guys in the different engagement methods?
Yes, so you can call us at 402-488-5100. You can email me, Kayla, and Brian. My email is Colby McPike at ComPro INS. And everybody else, for whatever reason, I'm the only weird email. Everybody else is first letter of their first name, then last name. So Kayla is K Northup, Brian is B Northup at comproins.com. You can also find our website at www.comproins.com.
And I know one thing I was going to recommend to the listeners is each of you have your own individual page that provides a lot of this information. So there will be copies of this podcast, not only in its comprehensive state, but as well as your little sections that you talk about. So again, I encourage the listeners to, as they're trying to get to know and know who they might be working with, to make sure they check out the About Us section of the website.